What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how to approach girls in difficult situations. So in this specific instance, you're going to see infield of me approaching a girl who's sitting down and having lunch with her friend. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did to get her number, along with the things that I could have done better. And then we're going to go through all the texting that happened afterwards and analyze everything from start to finish. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right into the infield. So the context here is we had literally just started filming that day. This was my first approach ever. I'm an approach virgin now. It was the first approach that day, so I'm gonna be a little rusty. And I'm walking and I see a cute girl who's definitely my type, like a curvy Latina. I look at her for a few seconds. She looks at me for like a split second, and I walk past her, right? And then I walk past her, I'm like, wait, why the fuck did I not approach this girl? Like, sure, she's sitting down, she's having lunch. That makes it a low probability situation, but still, what the fuck do I have to lose? So I went back and I opened her. And this is what's commonly happened to you. Like, sometimes you just pussy out, right? And it happens to everybody. But what matters is what you do after that. As long as you go back in and do the right thing, then it's all good.
Back across that girl. Excuse me. I think you and I had like a little moment.
So two things I want to point out. One is it's important not to go from the back. You don't want to startle the girl. So I am going up and then I kind of veer like this. It may seem like a subtle move, but if you startle the girl, that's going to definitely start things off on a poor note. So you go from the side, get her attention. And my opener here is, hey, I think you and I had a little moment. I'm actually quite fond of that opener. I think it works pretty well because it kind of, a lot of chicks are big proponents of like fate and like destiny. And so kind of going in with that type of thing, right? It only works though if the girl stared at you. She has to look at you for like a split second. That's good. But if she did not notice you at all, then it's not going to work. So as long as she noticed you, again, it doesn't mean that you have to actually have a moment. She doesn't have to stare at you for more than a split second, but there has to be something there. She has to have basically noticed you. So this is what I go in with.
Oh, like a little moment?
Yeah, like a little moment as I walk past you.
Oh, it could be. Is your dog?
Yeah, he is. No, I just found him on the street. I'm just walking him for the day.
So here she says, oh, is that your dog? I say, no, I just found him on the street. So again, I'm just being playful, trolling, which is, again, it's a big part of my game. As long as you don't overdo it, trolling can be good.
Hey.
She's like, yeah, right.
He's a husky. He's my creature. You have a dog?
What do you do with him? No. Because I know they have like a lot of, like, they're very hyper.
Mine is pretty chill.
Yeah?
He only has one rule. I have to be around him. If I'm there, he's chill.
Nothing exciting here at all, just basic banter talking about the dog, which is totally okay as long as I don't get stuck on that for too long.
Oh, yeah? Okay, that's good, that's good.
Where are you from? Yeah, like I'm from Russia.
From Russia? You're here visiting or you live?
I live here.
Oh, you live here? Okay, me too, yeah.
Look at this. Russia and Cuba. Our countries used to be friends.
So here again, I'm making a little bit of humor because the conversation is kind of a little boring right now. So she says she's from Cuba. I'm like, oh, Russia, our countries used to be friends. What I did wrong here is I should have kind of riffed on that a little bit more. I should have kind of kept going with that theme. But again, first approach, I'm a little rusty, a little stuffy.
What's your name?
Alex. Nice to meet you.
This is my cousin, Jenny.
Nice to meet you, cousin. Pleasure.
So a few things to point out here. She's asking me, where I'm from, if I live here, what my name is. Those are good signs. If a girl is not interested in you at all, she's not going to ask those questions because she just wants the conversation to end and she's not going to contribute to the conversation lasting longer. So that's a good sign. Now, what I did wrong here is I actually should have been the one that introduced myself, right? I shouldn't have waited. I should have been like, hey, by the way, what's your name? Nice to meet you. And then I should have introduced myself to the cousin. Hey, nice to meet you. Oh, cousin, cool. I love your cousin over here. We've known each other for ages. Like, crack a little joke, right? So it's not terrible, but that is something I should have done. Also, another thing to point out, guys sometimes get this confused. So let's say there's two girls. You're obviously interested in one. And guys get confused, how much attention should you focus on the girl you're interested in? Now, there's this really outdated concept in, I think it was the mystery method, that you should actually ignore the girl that you're interested in and talk to the other girl. I 100% disagree with that. That's retarded. You want to primarily focus on your girl. It should be something like 90-10. So most of your attention should be on your girl. And you want to, of course, acknowledge the other person. Because if you ignore them, then they're going to shit talk you after you leave and bring down your girl's perception of you. So you want to acknowledge them. You want to be friendly with them. But you don't want it to be like some guys are like 50-50. They talk to both girls evenly. No. It should be very clear to an outside observer which girl you're interested in.
I don't want to like interrupt your dinner, but we should hang out sometime. You know, for the sake of our countries.
So, okay, so here I'm going for the close. So a few things again to point out here. One is they're actively having lunch. So I could tell they're going to be in a, like, I don't want to stay there for 10, 20 minutes, right? Because even though I'll make the interaction more solid, they're in the middle of their meal, right? So they're trying to eat. So I have a limited time span here before it kind of gets annoying. That being said, I think I went for the close too fast here. Again, first approach of the day, but I think I should have stayed in for another minute or two and just built more sexual tension, right? Really, that's the one thing that's missing from this is strong sexual tension.
Let me get your number.
Also, my close is always very simple. I say, let's get together sometime soon, or let's grab drinks sometime soon, the soft close. And I wait for the girl to say yes. I want her to agree. I want her to say, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Then I say, cool, give me your number. And I always give the girl my phone. The reason for that is I've had too many situations where I was just off by one digit and then the whole thing is ruined. So I give her my phone, I let her type it in. Sometimes they add like funny things. They'll say like, her name, favorite Cuban or something like that. And that becomes like an inside joke. But I always give the girl my phone. I don't say, can I have your number? I say, cool, let me get your number. Bam.
Are you in Brazil?
No,
Purely logistics question right now.
yeah. You?
I live right here.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's good. Just put that.
La cubana. La chica cubana. Okay, Rico. Oh, awesome. Nice to meet you. I'll text you later.
Same too.
Enjoy your, I don't know, what is that? Like a sandwich? Or... He wants to play. I feel like I could get rowdy. Come on, Rhaegar. You want to say hi? I'll let him play a little.
And here I just bounce out, let Rhaegar play with the neighboring dogs for a few seconds, and I bounce out. So all the fundamentals in this approach are good, right? One, address, come in strong, open the girl, get a little banter going, get the girl laughing, make it lighthearted, get her phone number, agree to get drinks sometime, right? The one thing that was missing here is the middle. I should have vibed with the girl a little bit more. I should have built more sexual tension. That would have made the number more solid. And you're going to see that as we go through the texting. So definitely in situations like this, it's always good to approach, right? Because what do you have to lose, right? Like even if it doesn't go well, you're no worse than where you started. Next, let's jump into the screenshots. Hey, if you guys are finding value from this video, then make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. All right, back to the video. So this was a few hours after we parted ways. I sent her my name, Alex, with a winky face, which is my standard opener for cold approach numbers. She says hi with a smiley face. I say, how's my favorite Cubana, right? So again, referencing back or, conversation. She says, pretty good in you. Now some guys might be like, oh, she's, not investing, but that's fine. This is pretty standard shit. So I send her a nice little DHV text. It's a picture of Rhaegar, my tattoo, and I say, great, just finished a podcast, hanging out with this guy. So multiple DHVs, my dog, my tattoo, and the podcast, right? That gets girls curious. Oh, what kind of podcast? She says, nice, cute, I like your tattoo. So she's giving me a compliment. That's a good sign. I say, thanks, do you have any? She says, welcome. Yep, I do, like on my lower back. I say, cute. I'll have to see it for myself one of these days. So here is a pretty flirty text. You can make the argument that was a little too flirty for the situation, but I think it's fine because she says maybe with a grin emoji. So that's not a no. That's like a playful like, haha, let's keep going. Let's flirt a little bit more. I don't want to commit to sex just yet type of text. And here I kind of fuck up a little bit. So a big part of this is just simply I have too much shit going on, so I didn't really give this girl my due diligence. So I just liked her message, hoping that she would double text, which is a fine strategy, but I think a better follow-up would have been something like, how did you know that was my favorite word? So one important thing in a situation like this is there's attraction, right? There's comfort, but there's not enough investment yet. I still have to keep building a little bit more investment, right? And that is what's going to turn a potential maybe or no into a yes. So it's not like I have to do 10 more screenshots worth of texting, but I do need at least another 1 or 2 before going for the close. And she doesn't, so I re-engage her the next day. Hola, she says, hola. I say, how's your day going so far? She says, good. Though I had to work. And yours, I say, oh, mine was good too. Just finished a big workout, looking nice and fit for our date. So here I'm going for the close. Now, this strategy would be completely on point for a chick who was moderately invested and moderately attracted during the approach. The problem was, even though this chick might have been moderately attractive, it's kind of up for debate, she was minimally invested. So I did need to build, again, more investment before going for the close. And this is just me being, again, a little sloppy. She says, awesome, lol, good. I say, do you like wine? She says, yep. I say, good, we should split a bottle sometime soon. And she leaves me on red. Yes, it happens to me as well. And here I make another mistake. So I should have just followed up in a day or two, but I completely forget about her for like 2 weeks. And literally just today, I say, don't be shy. So that double text was fine, but it should have been done 2 or 3 days later, because 2 or 3 weeks later, the girl kind of forgets. And now it just comes down to, okay, does she actually remember me? Or is she like, oh, I just moved on weeks ago? All right, hopefully you guys found this video valuable. So I think there's several takeaways here. First of all, I want to show you guys how exactly to approach in a difficult situation, right? If you see a girl who's your type, who you want to talk to, don't let the fact that she's with a friend or that she's eating or that she has her headphones in, don't let this sway you. You might as well go and take your shot. And if it doesn't work out, well, then you're no worse off than when you started. That's the first thing. Secondly, of course, all the fundamentals that went into here. Again, bantering, closing, all the stuff that I pointed out in the video. Also, I want to point out that I fail. In fact, any guy, no matter how good he is, right? Like, I don't care if your game is 11 out of 10, you're still going to get more quote-unquote rejections than successes. Like, at the end of the day, we can call this a rejection, right? Because I haven't met with the girl yet. And it's fairly unlikely to happen. So, again, you have to accept. I think a lot of guys get dissuaded because they're like, I approached 3 girls and I didn't bang any of them. Yeah, that's part of the game. Like, you're going to have more failures than you are successes, and that's okay as long as you keep learning. And last thing I want to point out that I think that can be interesting is that it's important to be able to have an honest look at your game. So even, kind of where I'm at right now, I'm still able to sit down and really analyze what I did right, what I did wrong. And this is where infield comes in super clutch. So if you feel like your game is stuck and you're just not sure, what you're doing wrong, videotape yourself, have one of your buddies videotape you, and then sit down, really analyze it, take your ego out of the equation and look, okay, what was good and what was bad here? If you guys enjoyed this video, then show us some love by smashing the like button, hitting subscribe, and click the bell for notification. Also, once we hit 75,000 subs, I'm going to release never before seen rejection infield compilation of me. So you're going to see me getting blown out over and over and over, which is going to be very entertaining. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.